Hi folks, Grandpa here from Grandpa Digs It. You want to propagate some of these beautiful big leaf hydrangeas in back of me? Why don't we make some cuttings and get them to root and make some more just like this. There's a story behind these hydrangeas. These hydrangeas were transplanted from my late mother-in-law's home where they grew for several decades. We transplanted them very carefully about 10 years ago, and last year I took cuttings from them. I think I had about 100%, maybe 99%, 98% success rate in propagating them. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. It's fairly simple to do it if you do it right, and it's a fun project. So come on and join me. Let's propagate some hydrangeas and make more of these beautiful plants. Okay folks, so here we're going to prepare a few more plants for propagating hydrangeas. My wife, Grandma, that is, she wants 50. So we're almost there. So we've got the mixture here of perlite and sand. Let's mix this up a little bit better. Okay, let's see. This is mostly perlite, probably about 60-70% perlite and some sand in there. And that's going to make some good drainage. And we're using, of course, these solo cups, which are just fabulous for this project. This one, if you look at it, I put more drainage holes. I just used a stove and an old fork, heated it up, and just right through there. So you want to be sure you got good drainage when you're propagating, okay? So a good mixture of perlite and sand is just perfect. And then I'll show you a good way, the way I take these. I just went out and cut a few more. I'm going to look for the ideal spot since we only need a few more of these. And I like this spot right here. I'm going to cut it right under that node. Okay, right there. I'm going to save that for another one. But if you take a look at that, this is an action center. This is where the power is being pushed in this plant. And so therefore, if we put rooting hormone, we treat it right, we're going to get some good root balls off of that. Some good rooting off that. We're going to take these off, which is really going to help. These two bottom leaves. All right, and we don't need this top. Well, we don't need these big leaves up here. Now, we need leaves up here a little bit for photosynthesis, but we don't want these leaves sucking up too much of the power and energy. We want that to be shoved down to the root. And then we'll take out this center part, which is just going to take energy. So really this is what we have. That's almost a perfect cutting for a hydrangea propagation. The size of that stalk, these roots, these leaves may be even still a tiny bit too big. I guess I'm being a perfectionist here, but okay, once you have that, let's get them wet. And then we're going to use our rooting hormone. Just hit it in there. And you know, if you get it where we cut those leaves off, you got really 3 prongs there. And my fancy gardening implement here, number 2 pencil. I hadn't used these for many decades until I got into gardening and found these are pretty handy. So, okay, and then we'll just put that down in there, right down to that point, and kind of pack it in pretty good. And I guess we're going to get I think we've got room for about 6 more of these. So let's put it up. Let's put it where you can see it. How about that? Without moving the camera around, we'll line up 6 of these right there, and that'll fill up our tote. Okay, so let's fill up another one. Keep them moist. The key is humidity in the tote, in the chamber where these are going to grow. It's going to be kind of a greenhouse effect. So there you have it. Can you see all those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, let's go put these in the tote. Okay, well, I just took this top off. There's a lot of humidity in here. You can see it on the top here. Water beating up. Let me go get those 6. And this is just gonna fill this tote up. All right. Since we opened this and we put 6 new ones in, I'm just gonna do a light spray in there. Then these are These are really good totes. I didn't want to spend this much money. I want to use old beat up totes, but I was running out. These seal up so well. There you go. Now, probably we won't open that for several weeks, believe it or not. This is about the maximum sun this area will get. This north brick wall here in these junipers, it's now 12:15. It's high noon. The sun is high in the sky, but for the most part, that's a northern wall, and they'll get. That's not even direct sunlight there. They got a good view to a blue sky, and that's really what you want. You don't want them baking in the sun. But you want them to have the benefit of refracted sunlight and the humidity. So there you have it. This is, I don't know where we're going to put the rest of the totes when we start doing the other, propagating the other projects we have in mind. So we got, this is feel more sun over on this side. But this is really where I like to keep the propagating plants. All right, well, we'll come back in a few weeks to check on these, okay? Okay, so one thing we're going to be doing today is we took cuttings of these hydrangeas, about 5 weeks ago. I think a couple of them probably have died, but I think we're going to get some roots off some, and we're going to pot them up in some of these pots. And you might think, why pot them in such big pots? Well, one thing that I figured out over time was that why pot them in smaller pots, like these, and then have to repot them, when we can just pot them up in big pots and give the roots a chance to grow and expand. And see, these were cuttings from a few weeks ago, or several weeks ago, and they're going to be full plants. Today's August 2nd here in Alabama. By the time the growing season comes to a cooler stage, these will be ready to pot out, probably. If they're not, we'll store them for the winter. But why waste time on it, in my opinion, the time and energy to do like intermediate 1 quart pots or 6-inch pots? Just put them in the big pots. That's where they're going to be anyway for most of their next year, probably. Hey, from Grandpa Digs It. Are you ready to pot up some hydrangeas? Well, let's get started. So here's the potting mix we're using. The Miracle Grow mixed with some chicken manure and some bark, and we're going to do some potting up right here on Grandpa Digs It. Let's see. Well, check this out. Here's one, and I'm just gonna clean some of that perlite off there. Not all of it, but just give you an idea of the roots. We got a little bit of black there, but I'd say that's pretty healthy. And we're gonna take a look at how we planted that. Well, that should be more centered. Okay. And we'll soak that down pretty well. And one thing you don't want to do is, this is a nutrient-rich soil already. It's got chicken manure and some organic material from the pine bark and so on in it, but you don't want to add any fertilizers or anything. You just want to give it a good soaking down. The fertilizers just be too much of a shock. But there we go. All right. What I'm going to do is, I see roots on this one. I'm going to rinse it off. We can leave it in there longer, get longer roots, but it's August 2nd and we don't want to let too much of the season get away from us. So let's make us a little hole in the center here. Plant that baby right in the middle. Pack that down because we don't want air pockets in there. That would not be good. Okay. And again, I think these are 5-gallon. Let's see if we can do this. No. These are 5-gallon buckets, but we're going to use these anyway. And this will also give them enough room to grow for a whole year if we don't end up potting them out before then. They may winter over in these pots.
Here's the result of our propagation project. Hydrangeas are easy to propagate, and if you want to add some low-maintenance, glorious color to your garden, try propagating some hydrangeas. Until next time, bye for now. from Grandpa Digs It.